was out here protesting the First Amendment, of all things, with a sign that said, "Oh shit, it's 1939 Germany," referencing Hitler's program T4, which is the euthanasia program, which I find very similar to Obamacare.
Right.
Cop showed up, came over to me, and basically I've been cited for disorderly conduct because of the word shit. I have a First Amendment right, which says I can say whatever I want to say, but apparently I can't say this, or this. So the state of Texas doesn't really, they say that, we're a free state, but obviously today it's been proven wrong.
Right. Yeah, that's ridiculous. So kind of start at the beginning and just tell us what exactly,
So the cops, so a moment by moment. The cops showed up and immediately asked me to take my mask off. I was protesting anonymously, and for my ID. I refused to do both of them. They said I had to. I immediately asked them what I was being charged with, or what they thought I would be charged with, and asked if I was being detained. At which point they did detain me and said I was going to be cited for disorderly conduct, for lewd or vulgar use of language on a sign. At which point I did give them my ID and remove my mask for a moment so they could see my face. From there, the female cop, which I do not remember her name, I think it's Agony or Agacy.
I'll look into it and see.
It starts with an A and it's got a G in it,
okay.
But my mind gets so, when things are happening, I forget.
I do too.
So she started arguing with me that I was breaking the law for using foul language, which she identified the word shit as foul language. I informed her, I let her know that I don't recognize that as a law. It's not in my Constitution, it's not in my Bill of Rights, and therefore any laws by that I will not adhere to.
Right.
Any law that's other than that I view as illegal. It was illegally written, and I will not comply to that. I've been notified that I will have to show up in court in front of a judge to further discuss this matter, at which point I will plead not guilty. So after arguing with her, she just kept repeating herself that I am breaking the law, that she can show me the law, which I just told her I'm not going to say that I did. I'm not saying that I did. The male cop was actually very helpful. He recognized everything as a right of mine. When he went to pat me down, I let him know I didn't consent to a search. He verbally accepted that and let me know that he would just like to take my knife out, and asked me if he could take my pocket knife out. I said that's fine. So all he did was pat me down and then let me go. So I mean, he was very courteous. He was a nice guy. I kind of feel sorry for him that he has to uphold laws that are unjust. So
what were you telling me? You thought about the general manager here might get involved in some of it?
Yeah, the people that called were most definitely I think he said he was the regional manager of Kentwick. He showed up as I was being detained, came up to the grass near us, and was talking to another officer about getting us removed. But like in everything I do, I've looked extensively into the property lines of Kentwick. I know exactly where I can and can't go. We were outside of their property lines. We were on public property. And the gentleman, the male officer, let him know that he was not going to tell us to leave, that we had every right to be here. After they gave me the citation, they left from this area and went actually over to Kent Quick to go inside and talk to them for about 10 or 15 minutes. Multiple times Kent Quick employees have come out here finding an excuse to come over and look at us or take pictures. One of them picked up a small piece of trash out here just to get out this way. Giving us dirty looks, taking pictures of us. So I have no doubt in my mind that it was Kent Quick that actually called the police on us.
That is ridiculous.
It's pretty ridiculous.
That is. So what would you say to people who live in this small town who think that things wouldn't happen like that to them in a small town? What would you say to somebody like that?
It doesn't matter where you are. Small town, big city. I mean, the laws are corrupt wherever you go. And the only thing I can say is just keep fighting.
Yeah.
And do what I'm doing and just educate yourself. Make sure that you know what you're doing is legal. And don't give up. Don't let them repress you like that.
Yeah.
Because it's illegal for them to be doing what they're saying is illegal for me to do.
Could you state what group you're with and your name?
I represent Overpasses for America and Anonymous. I don't identify myself with or when I'm protesting, and that's why I wouldn't remove my mask when she asked me to. But those are the two groups that I pretty much align myself with.
And you told me this personally before, but what is the reasoning behind the anonymous, the protesting anonymously and things like that?
It started basically a couple years ago when Anonymous was protesting. They didn't have a mask on, and they were being followed home by FBI agents. They were being harassed at their house, and so in order to protect themselves, they would wear a mask. And it's evolved into all these more things. None of us are a leader. You can't join Anonymous. There's no one idea. It's a collective group of ideas, so it's one face with the same exact thing in mind.
Many faces with that same.
Right. Yeah, many faces underneath one face.
And you'd mentioned to me before, too, about how you felt like you didn't really want the credit,
Not at all. Anything.
Yeah, you want to do this, but you don't necessarily want the credit for doing it. That you're out here, look at me, you
right.
want the message heard and not necessarily yourself.
Yeah. Yeah, people have asked me to be leaders of, different protest groups, and I just have to tell them no, because I don't want to be labeled as a leader of anything. I'm just myself and me, if we all have the same idea, that's great. If we don't, that's great,